Good evening, Oak Bloke here, and this video is not advice, it's just me talking about ideas, but this one's about Riverstone Energy, and this is a share I've held for a number of years. Reason I've held it is because I like the holdings that are in the share, so I'm going to share my screen and let's hopefully do a quiz to sort of show you. Now, thing that I've noticed straight away is that Permian Resources, one of its holdings, has jumped 9.5% today. If we take it's based on the Q1 profits, this has gone down a lot this year because of the oil price going down. So, as the name suggests, this is in the Permian Basin in the US. So, up today, but year to date, if we can ask this to return back to us a year to date, you can see it sort of dropped from what $16 a share right the way down to the lows of about $10, and you can see it's back up to about 13. Now Riverstone hold a large chunk of, in fact, the majority is so this is the different shares. So Riverstone is made up of what I've termed brown and green. This isn't an original concept, but there's three. There are three kind of oil or sort of fossil fuel stocks, and then there's four green environmental type stocks. So this is the one that so about 50% of the NAV. Sorry, no, not 50% of the NAV. Just about 40% of the NAV, but 50% of the share price. So the share price being $9.60. It's not $9, it's £7.30, but £7.30 converted into dollars is nine sixty. And the market cap's 230. So so it's actually a bit over half, to be fair, probably closer to 60% than 50. And then there's a chunk of Onyx. So Onyx is a German a series of German coal power stations. This is baseload power in Germany. Pretty attractive assets as far as I'm concerned, and very, very efficient. So they produce energy at, I think it's 45% efficiency, which might sound low, but actually, as far as coal powered energy generation, thermal energy generation, 45% is real McCoy top of the range, is a lot higher than older assets. So yes, they produce pollution, but they're modern, fitted with all the sort of things that you would expect in a thermal energy coal mine. Coal power station. Forgive me. That minimise pollution and maximise energy efficiency. So nice asset, and you can see here they've nearly tripled the money, nearly tripled the investment. They've had 121 million out from Onyx, and they've still got 46 million worth of shareholding. Now, this is a privately held asset. It's not listed on a stock exchange. The next one is Canadian and is listed. So actually, you've got this plus this plus this. So the listed holdings come to over 200 million. The cash is 75. So that plus that is 277. The share price is only 237. So technically, you could buy the whole company, sell off the stuff that's publicly listed, and assuming you could get, $13 a share for Permian and I think it's $6. No, sorry, $8.40 a share for Varen, and then 127, I think it is, or 120, 127 it is for Solid Power. That you could sell all of that off, put $40 million in your pocket, and you'd still hold $90 million of these dark blue ones, which are the unlisted assets. So you'd own I think it's three or four coal power stations in Germany. you'd own this, which makes high efficiency motors, AC motors. You'd hold this one, which loans money to US households to invest in solar energy and all Inflation Reduction Act stuff, basically. And then you'd also own Group 14, which makes a chemical for batteries. Now in Trump's America, that's probably not a bad one to be involved in either. So these are all pretty solid assets. They're not a load of rubbish. This one has kind of been in the wars. You can see that this has sort of lost 84% of its investment cost. So they spent 48 and it's now today worth 8. And Solid Power is a solid state battery for BMW and Ford, and yeah, certainly those two. And I think they are possibly, there's a Japanese uh, involved as well. I think. So yeah. Anyway, this US listed solid state battery. If they can crack solid state, then obviously that would be worth a lot more than 8. Heck of a lot more than 8. But it's proving it out and so on. So generally, the green investments have not done well. The brown investments generally have done quite well. This one's the worst, and that's largely down to Canadian energy being at record low prices. And of course, Permian's taken a hit this year with lower oil prices. Okay, so yeah, really good value. Since the 31st of March, when they gave us this update, I also track the movement. So it's 13.05 today. It was 13.85 at the end of March. So it's actually dropped. So technically, yes, it's 40 million in excess, but there's 12.8 million, 12.9 million that's been lost post period. But even taking that into consideration, the NAV is £13.12 for a share that you can buy for £7.30. So there's a heck of a lot of a discount. Yeah, you'll see, I think it's this bit here, that the discount is 35. If you strip out the cash, the discount's 40. And if you stripped out all, like I say, sell it all off, you've got 40 million in your pocket plus the privately held. That's equivalent to 143% discount, which is pretty jolly good, pretty nice. Permian is expanding. It's drilling. It's got some debt, but it's very very profitable Permian Basin oil producer, explorer producer. So Veren is Canadian oil and gas producer. So yeah, really nice. I kind of like this, and it's surprising that it's as lowly valued as it is. I mean, the other thing to say about this share is that they are prolifically buying back their shares. So this is now at 24.6 million. If we go back to my last article, which I wrote here, the green and brown. So this is back in October. The number of shares were somewhere in all of this. This is all the different holdings, by the way. There's the Solid Power, there's the BMW and the Ford, and yeah. So there's obviously some different things. I don't know if I have actually got the number of shares listed here. It was. But you can see the discount jumps around a bit, but it's obviously still above 100%. No, I can't see that I did list it, but yeah, I mean, over the course of yeah, you can see here they've bought back 80 million shares since 2019 to only 27 million shares today. There's your number, 27.5 in November, and it's dropped from 27.5 to 24.5 ish. So 10% of its shares have been bought back since I wrote my last article last no, oh, sorry, last October. So 7 months, millions of shares, 10% of its shares have been bought back. And obviously, what that's doing is it's raising the net asset value because you're buying back the shares at that same discount. And in fact, one of the calculations I kind of thought, oh, it'd be really interesting to see, was that if I used all of the cash, all of this amount here, 75 million, to buy back shares, how many could I buy back? So I worked that out, and the answer is, well, you could buy back another 7.7 million, and you'd be then left with 16 million shares in issue. And if the market cap was still, obviously it wouldn't, it'd be higher because of accretion, but if the NAV, um, if the NAV were 367, I think it's that number plus that number. Yeah, so if it's 367, let me just quickly show you this. Times that by 1 million and divide that by the number of shares, you know, the NAV would have grown to £21.77 from £13. So that sort of shows you how the buybacks just lift the NAV, and that's not because the assets have gone up in value. Obviously, if the assets went up in value, then that would be even higher still. That's just purely buying back the shares at a discount in a very aggressive way. And what does that do to the remaining shares? It means each one gets a share worth a share of shares worth £21.77 per share, which is great. I mean, that's why I like this. It doesn't pay dividends, so that's the bit that perhaps people don't like, but I don't care. I mean, because it's doing that will eventually, it's like a snake eating its own tail. It sort of eventually chokes on it or something. But because these are all publicly listed, I mean, you know, one of the other things I noticed was in the update that they increased their sales. This bit here, the realizations. I mean, they've actually realized 550 million. Which again is sort of over twice the share price, twice the market capitalization has actually been um, sort of realized out of its holdings. So yeah, lots to like. Anyway, just something I'd noticed that this had dropped in price a bit. I'd encourage you to have a read of this article. It's the green and the brown. I think there are a couple of articles relating to it as well. There's possibly this one I did in February, which also covered, the green and the brown, and uh, at that point it had gone up to £7.80. Today it's sat at £7.30, and the update from the quarterly performance obviously affected by the oil price, for some extent. But yeah, lots of positives as far as that goes, and obviously some concern around what's going on with tariffs and Trump's America, and are they going to bin off the Inflation Reduction Act? So far, they absolutely haven't, and because there's a lot of Republican states that have benefited from the Inflation Reduction Act, then again, I just think it's not going to be that easy to do so. These guys have been a bit affected by this was lowered because they've got a factory in Mexico, Saltillo. So that's obviously the tariff challenge there potentially. But yeah, I think it will ride these out. Personally, I mean, this infinitum I really really liked. Thinking this article, if I cover it there, it's this sort of the AC motor reimagined. It's 10% more efficient, it's quieter, it's got less torque ripple, it's got Internet of Things performance monitoring, so it'll tell you when it's going to break down. Most of its components are 100-year life, so you could disassemble it, get rid of the bit that's not, that's broken, and just use the rest again, type thing. So yeah, really, I think that's a great business, going places. Um, it's used a lot in data centers, AC motors, of course. It's actually a winner for its ability to improve the efficiency and sustainability of data centers. Data centers love sustainability. They're all over that, and so anything that helps them drive efficiency is going to be of interest. And data centers by 2030 could be consuming 9% of US electricity. So yeah, lots to like about that one, as far as and will one day it be IPO'd? I mean, yes, possibly. So yeah, that's covers the idea off. So I've done that in 15 minutes. So the usually 1 hour plus videos. So Oak Bloke on a rapid 15 minutes saying cheerio for now, cheerio.